You know, one would think that someone with as much clout that Victoria has, that she'd be happy. Victoria could be using her position in the White House as the First Lady to run multiple businesses. You know, she could become instrumental in various charities or start her own women's group. But instead, she throws her weight around the White House, tormenting people, expressing how horrible her kids are, and she tries to get rid of all of Hunter's mistresses. Like, what a depressing life, right? If I had to choose a characteristic for the First Lady, it would definitely be controlling. She grossly misuses her power and position because of her character flaws. She's very arrogant and delusional. Her morals are extremely corrupt, and she has an addiction for the peen. So let's peel back the layers of Miss Victoria Franklin and get to know who she really is. She's intimidating. She ignores boundaries like no other. She's constantly criticizing other people. She creates more drama than a little bit, and she never takes the blame for anything. Victoria insists on having her way, like all the time. She refuses to take any accountability for her parenting skills or lack thereof, and she constantly has to be the center of attention. Now, one thing that we may agree on is that Victoria is very intimidating. If we use the last couple of episodes as evidence, we would see that intimidation is at its finest. People that are controlling tend to put blame on other people without bearing any of the responsibility themselves. She told Jason, her own son, that she never wanted to have him, hence why Jason is dangling from the door in his bedroom. And I've said this before, that's like a horrible thing to say to your kid. Even after Jason expressed the neglect that he's been feeling since he was a child, that still wasn't enough to soften her heart. I mean, it did nothing, absolutely nothing at all. Victoria has no regard for self-respect, and she ignores boundaries like the plague. She's disrespectfully thrown herself to 3 different men who are her subordinates. First it was Max, then Sam, and now Alan. The reason that Sam gave in to her, and the only reason, is because he was horny. He couldn't help himself. If Sam wasn't horny, none of this would have happened. There are no boundaries when it comes to her. She ignores all the rules and has no respect for marriages, relationships, or friendships. She's right dead smack in the middle of some drama right now. Drama that she created. She truly believes that the world revolves around her and what she wants. What I would really want to see for this Victoria character is a new environment. In my opinion, Victoria is becoming one-dimensional like Hunter. If we go back to the last episode, she was going from room to room, walking up and down the hallways, tormenting people, just giving everybody a hard time. She gave Kyle a hard time, and also Alan, and then she wanted to talk to Priscilla, and there's no telling what they're going to be talking about in the yellow room. You know what they say, an idle mind is the devil's playground, right? So she just needs something to do. I would really appreciate seeing her in a new light. I don't know, maybe get her around some other women outside of the White House. I mean, not to take away from her character too much, but just to see other sides of her. Because we know that every time Victoria enters a room, that there's going to be trouble, right? It's kind of what's expected. Someone did ask me to do a backstory on Victoria, and I think I'll do that so that we can just kind of see, you know, how she became who she is, and just to kind of see her in a different light. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And if you're an Oval fan, go ahead and sub to the channel because I do videos like this all the time. I want to thank you for joining me on this episode of Ruthless TV, and I'll see you on the next one.